last point for Northern Plains is, again, the weather here is fertile because of the Ganges River. It gives a lot of moisture and it gives a lot of good soil. So basically what happens is it's a really great area for crops. So people like to live around this area. So the Northern Plains is a good region for them to live. The third place is the Deccan Plateau, which is on the southern part of India. So this is where the Deccan Plateau is right here. And this place is known for the rich mineral deposits, and elephants actually roam around this area. So this is a really cool area because it's kind of these desert areas, but then also it has a coastal plain around that provides fertile soil and plenty of water. So this region also is a good area for people to live. All right, and there's other sections of South Asia and Southeast Asia that we'd like to get into, and it's basically the islands of Sri Lanka and Maldives. And this is very interesting because in this region, let me go ahead and show you that picture. Right here. This is Sri Lanka, right? And you see all these small little islands right here. These are the islands of Maldives. Now, if you can count them, right, there are more than 1,200 islands in this area. And this is a very interesting area, just because there's so many islands all scattered throughout this area right here. Right? The regions of Southeast Asia, there's two types of regions in Southeast Asia. There's mainland, which is a major producing region of rice. So it's a very densely populated area again because this is the staple for their food. The second is islands of Southeast Asia. Now go ahead, I'm going to show you again. This is what we're talking about. So this is separate from the Sri Lanka and the Maldives. Right? We're going to go into Malaysia, which is right here. There's Singapore, there's the Philippines, and Indonesia. And now these islands are one of the major islands in Southeast Asia. Okay? So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Indonesia because Indonesia is the largest country here in this region. It is 3 times the size of Texas. Now, if you've ever been to Texas, Texas loves big things, right? And Texas is pretty big. It's 3 times the size of Texas. Now, it's the 4th largest population in the world, and it's basically made up of 17,000 islands. That's a lot. 17,000 compared to the 1,200 of the Maldives and Sri Lanka. 17,000 is a crazy amount of just different little islands placed all over the sea. And this was basically formed by volcanoes. Now, of those 17,000, not everyone lives on those islands. About 6,000 inhabit that island, but that's still a lot of islands people inhabit. Now, the smaller region is Philippines. Now, in the Philippines, there's about 7,100 islands scattered throughout the sea, and only about 800 of these islands are inhabited. It's about maybe the right size of Arizona. Now, who heard of the Philippines? Yeah? Have you guys heard of Manny Pacquiao? Manny Pacquiao, if you guys haven't heard of him, he's a great boxer. He's a legendary boxer that's coming up. You guys should follow him. He's an awesome person. Okay, so let's go on and let's go to the last part. Bear with me, guys. We're almost done. Okay, let's go ahead and go into climate. Okay? So now the climate in this region, we have to talk a little bit about the monsoon cycles. Now, let's go ahead and go to the board and go to monsoon here. Monsoon is a seasonal wind that blows over the northern part of the Indian Ocean. Okay, so it's basically, this region is such a great region for just tropical weather. And basically what it is there's 3 seasons. It's cool, hot, and rainy in South Asia. There's seasonal winds and rains that come through Southeast Asia. So the monsoon cycle varies from different regions. So there's a period. It starts from June to September. It's usually the monsoon where the wind and the rain comes, and it's such a lot of wind and a lot of rain. It's a very difficult time to live. It's just so much weather, and just you have to live in this weather. In South Asia, though, the cycle is a little different. The cycle starts from June to October, which is the monsoon cycle. Then from November to February, it's very cool and very dry. And then from March to May, it becomes extremely hot. So when it comes around to June to October with all the rain and wind, it's a relief because it's so hot during March and May. Right? And then the Southeast Asia, they have 2 seasons. And let's go ahead and go through that. 2 seasons right here of monsoons in Southeast Asia. Summer, it's April to September, and winter, October to March. Okay? All right, and then we have to also talk about how climate really affects the region. Now, they have to be very careful with the region because, let's say the weather, if no rain comes, then the crops will not do well, and then the people will be starving, right? But on the other hand, sometimes the monsoon rains too much, and it floods the crop and basically destroys the crops, and then they again have the same situation where they starve. So it's kind of this fine little balance in between, depending on the rain, that the citizens and the people of this area have to really work with that weather and really know the weather very well. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and recap just a little bit today. Hopefully you guys kept in mind what the whole concept was today, is how a geographical region really affects a nation, depending on a river, or maybe also a climate, the monsoon, the rain. It really heavily affects the nation, okay? So let's go ahead and recap a little bit real quick. Let's go ahead and go through the vocabulary. There's some things that I haven't gone through today. Let's go ahead and go through delta. Delta is through the northern plains, and we will talk about the northern plains. A delta is a triangular deposit of soil at the mouth of a river, right here. That's delta right here. Okay, and just to show you just a little bit of what that looks like, if you can imagine, this is like a sea right here. Okay, we'll put that as a sea, right? This is the land right here, right? And think about this little right here is a river, right? Right, so this is what a delta looks like. Basically, it's a triangular region. So we'll put a triangle region right here, right? And this area is all fertile soil. So this is a good area for crops for the people that live there. So this is what a delta looks like. So hopefully you guys get a little bit here. This is a very bad drawing of the sea, though. Hope you guys can see that. This is the country land. Okay. All right. The second part is sediment. Sediment is basically includes minerals or debris that settle at the bottom of the river. So the Ganges River is such a fertile land because all these minerals and debris are in the water and it settles, and it's perfect for crops. So again, these two things, geographical things, the delta region, this triangle of fertile land, and sediment affects a nation because it helps them grow their crops, right? The third thing is the archipelago, which is a group of islands, which we were just talking about today, the Maldives, Sri Lanka, right? Indonesia. Is when there's these small little islands grouped together, that's what we call our archipelago, okay? All right, so I think, if you guys can get all this down today, kind of take that back. There is a lesson plan at the end, so I would like for you guys to go ahead and take a look at that lesson plan. And that's for tonight's homework. Just go ahead and go through that, and we'll go ahead and go over it tomorrow. Here's a really cool random fact, you guys. I got two cool things for you guys. Here's a random fact about the Himalayas. Some people say that the Himalayas, India, right? Let me see right here. India right here. This big part, right? This huge piece of land used to be a part of Africa, people say. And it broke off of Africa and basically drifted up. It drifted up here and crashed into China. And that's actually what created the Himalayas, right? So basically, if you think about it, this is India, this is China. And it just made this huge rocky formation. So that's what they actually think about the Himalayas. That's what's really cool. And if you guys are interested about Mount Everest, which is a really cool mountain, I printed out an article for you guys. And it's actually a story of Makalo Gao. And it's basically based on his survival story of surviving Mount Everest back in 1996. So if you guys are interested, go ahead and read this. This is very, very interesting, okay? All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and call it for today. If you guys have any questions, please come find me. If you have any questions about the regions, I've actually had the opportunity to visit the region. So Indonesia is such an awesome place. So I definitely have a lot of pictures and stories to tell you. So go ahead and we'll call it for today. All right, thank you so much, you guys. Have a good day.